talk to Nico. Obviously, you are known for your humor, yes, but you're also known for your emotional honesty. Wow. So how do you think, how important is that, being obviously a male figure on social media, to kind of rethink that aspect of masculinity?
Yeah, I'm very blessed with humor, I know. So your question was? About the joke and the note.
Yeah, no, I like he was kind of like
the role of a masculine.
yes, a healthier image of a masculine person.
As a male, I don't call myself an influencer. I have an imposter syndrome until today. I'm a farmer from Argentina, from a small town. When you don't know you have influence on people, it's really hard to believe for myself. I'm still a sour sometimes. And I believe today as a male figure, if you want to put it that way, I'm a huge feminist. Today I must say, I have two baby girls that I always, everything I do goes around them, and everything I analyze about the world today, I analyze it with the eyes of a feminist, because I see what I want is to have a more fair world, more fair, okay. Work for girls, right? So I feel like today the world is still not there yet. So as a main figure, I try to bring that into whatever conversation I have. I wrote the Bully Husband Club book, manual. It's really a lot about that. There's a lot of jokes, but it goes around that. And I believe it's very important because today, you know, my two girls are at one point, I won't be able to protect them. They're gonna go by themselves to this world that is full of bad people, unfortunately. And what we are trying to do all the time is to try to add a little bit of influence, if you want to call it some way, to make this world a little bit better for girls in this case, or in my case. So I think it's, you know, you say, okay, it's a male figure, but I think it's important as a male figure when we really becomes a bit of feminism. I don't know if I'm going off topic here, talking about feminism or something like that, but that's what I feel today when it comes to the role of a male influencer.
Yeah, and I like that you even mentioned just even the phrasing of asawa ni Soden, I think, right? Is there any like taking away that kind of masculine power and just be like, you know, I am the asawa ni Soden, and even just the bullied husband's club, I think, is there any like...
There is no masculinity power in this house.
I mean, we love that. We love them for that, right? And obviously with Nico also, I want to know, since you did mention you are a girl dad, there's so many things that, you know, you also have had to learn about being a dad, about being a husband that we've seen online, and you also are able to show the more imperfect side of learning and the struggles and the challenges that come with that. So why is it important to you that you're able to actually share those online with all of your viewers?
So there's two perfect things in this world today. One is my wife, and the second is the body. No, the second thing is the body of a body that I just saw behind. Trust me, guys, it's more perfect than what you see online. Like I was like, you know, I was doubting about my sexuality. You know. Going back to that, I think perfection is stupid, if you want to say it in a way. It's exhausting. Nothing is perfect. We're not perfect. And people try to portray themselves as perfect. It's not true, right? It's very exhausting to be someone that you are not. And I feel today, I think what it works the most, and I think it was also in Clarice's presentation, is that it's really to be authentic. Today, when you post any content, you need to think about your audience, right? And you need to think about, do they believe what you're saying? And the only way they're going to believe what you're saying is if you're authentic. People understand when you're not authentic. So I think Will also was mentioning that, you know, when he portrays himself as very vulnerable, or you know, we communicate aspects of our life that are not perfect. Those are the important aspects of your life you have to communicate, because we live in a stressful world with a lot of issues. We wake up with a lot of problems. You know, like try to make social media light. Try to make social media that you help someone. Try to make sure that you have an impact, even very small. I've been in Hong Kong for AIA group, and we're, you know, talking about making healthy, and you don't need to post, you know, your workout, how strong you are, how much you did. it's more about daily tips. There's a lot of things that people need to do still that are very small steps that will make them healthier. There are some figures of how unhealthy Asia is, and I think that's the whole movement that we're trying to improve that. And that can be improved with the summatory of small steps, like walking more, drinking more water, things like that we can do every day, and make sure that we all show that we're not perfect, that we all struggle. Every single person in this world struggle, and I think it's normal. It's how you take over the problem and how you take that first step. And at the same time, we also need to think, and I something that we're very conscious is how privileged we are today, right? We have a roof, we have food, we have education, health, without you have anything. So we have all those things, and that's a privilege today in the world. We need to put ourselves in the shoes of people that is in a way worse situation than we are today. So, be aware of that. It also shows when you portray the content and how that will impact the audience you're talking to.
Definitely a matter of perspective, right, of where we are and how lucky we are, but also taking those baby steps that build up over time, because, perfection is overrated, right? There are many things that we go through, and we also have to take those baby steps in our own lives. But